final awardee, someone who lived through internment in this country, lived through the experience of a authoritarian program that took away the freedoms and rights of so many Japanese Americans. And we have in this room an awareness of what discrimination looks like, what the violation of constitutional rights looks like, what it looks like to lose one's freedom, lose one's voice. By being here, you're all patriots. You're all willing to speak out. You're all willing to stand up for our democracy. There's never been a time that's more important. Never been a time and a moment that we more need to remind people of the history, the struggles, the freedom movements that have given us so many of the freedoms we enjoy. So I'm just so grateful to be able to represent a district where these values are celebrated, are seen as non-negotiable, and I need your help. We all need to be speaking up at this moment in our country's history to make sure that we don't lose these values. So I'm just really proud and honored of our awardees, the work they're doing, and look forward to working with all of you to show the truly multiracial democracy that is our community and that should be our country. Thank you for being here.
With a newspaper here at AANHPI College, and I just wanted to get your reaction to some news that just recently came out. How do you feel, given your positions on multiple subcommittees, about the Trump administration taking, I'm trying to think of the right terminology, taking a gift from the government of Qatar, that Boeing 747 that they want to use for the next Air Force One? What is your reaction to that?
What happened to America first? I don't know what Trump's voters think. Is America first flying in a Qatari Air Force One jet? I think it's a symbol for real corruption, for being open to the highest bidder. And people are seeing what he's doing is a betrayal of the working class. David Brooks had a great column which he said Trump asks all the right questions, but he has all the wrong answers. And he asked the question of people who were being hurt in America, working class Americans, Americans in factory towns. But instead of doing anything for them, he's basically selling his presidency to foreign powers, to people who are buying his meme coins, slashing Medicaid, slashing public education, gutting the programs that would bring manufacturing back. And the American people are going to see this if we speak up and have the courage to speak up.
Would you be interested in doing a one-on-one with Lavos News after this event tonight for an interview?
I'm happy to try to do it if we have time. Just talk to Simone or Tom.
Congressman, we have the last question for you.
Hi, my name is AANHPI. I'm a little scared to speak up because my Chinese upbringing tell me that, not to stand out too much in the crowd, but the question is very relevant and to the current challenges. Myself as a stage 4 cancer survivor, I started an innovation company to help patients who have access to creative arts that personally accelerate my recovery. We are funded by National Institute of Minority Health and Health Disparity. Luckily, currently the funding is still going, but I'm quite scared given the current attack against NIH, particularly minority health. And I was very happy to hear that you have a passion for telehealth too. And I love to hear, I guess there's like two-sided question. One is the future of telehealth, particularly targeting accessibility. I'm very fortunate to be one of the first 2 Asian female leaders selected for a national initiative for health equity. And I have the responsibility and duty I felt to speak up for Asian community, particularly in health equity. And you also mentioned that earlier, mental health. That's a challenge as I access. And then National Endowment of Arts is got attacked as well. So I'm like kind of in between two sides of it. I'm quite concerned. This is why I'm speaking up. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for speaking up. I admire your story of survival and resilience. It's sad what you said in the beginning about having been of Chinese background and having that fear in America. So what makes America different is that we shouldn't have people to have the fear of speaking up like they have in China. For all of J.D. Vance and Trump's lectures about free speech, they're the ones who are hurting free speech and abolishing free speech in this country. We need to speak out very clearly against the cuts they're making to NIH. They were cutting telehealth. I spoke out and others to have a bill to continue telehealth services being reimbursed from Medicare. And now it looks like they're going to keep the Medicare reimbursement for telehealth. We need to speak out against the cuts to all the medical research going on, the cuts against the PBS. I mean, they're cutting Daniel Tiger for basic shows and education. And the cuts to the National Endowment of Arts, which helps the plays and humanities. But I appreciate your speaking up. That's what it's going to take in this country. People like you sharing their stories, talking about what these cuts mean to actual lives in our district and around the country.
Thank you. Can we thank the Congressman for doing answering all your questions, and sounds like they're children and youth, and was appointed to the Fremont Planning Commission, where all good things start on the Planning Commission. And he's professionally led government affairs for companies like Google, Waymo, and Aurora, all located in the city of Mountain View, by the way, bridging innovation, policy, and community. So congratulations. Let's get your award.
Course in Vietnamese American Literature and History. Philip has been active in community organizations, including diasporic Vietnamese artists, progressive Vietnamese American organizations, and the Union of North American Vietnamese Students Associations, and is just an incredible leader in our community.
By Christian and Kavita Shrindar in honor of the late Mahima Ji. Pragna is a California-based nonprofit dedicated to supporting neurodiverse and developmentally different individuals. The organization's name, meaning awakening, reflects its mission to promote dignity, inclusion, and support. They offer programs like service navigation, peer and family support groups, neuro-inclusive events, and workshops for families and service providers to
Alameda County Social Services. He later served in Caltrans, Santa Clara Transportation Department, VTA, City of Fremont, and the Santa Clara Water District. He was appointed to Fremont's Redevelopment Agency, and he's active in the South Bay Chinese Club, Better Citizens for Better Community, and the Chinese Historical and Cultural Project. He also co-founded the Filipino American Students Association at Cal State and the Coalition for Asian Justice. Thank you for your incredible work.
familiar faces. Brandy and I were like, how long ago was it that we saw each other? Maybe 12 years ago. Our final awardee tonight is Wesley Mukoyama. If you want to come up, Wes. Or we can try to come meet you if it's easier. Wesley Kazuo Mukoyama, a second-generation Japanese-American, has dedicated his life to public service. A former Peace Corps director and longtime VA social worker, he has spent decades supporting marginalized communities. As executive director of AANHPI in Japantown, he helped establish many senior and family services still in place today. In retirement, he has not slowed down. He continues serving as a family caregiver support group facilitator at UICI, is a member of the Santa Clara County Reentry Commission, and a volunteer with APALI, which is right here at De Anza College, our Asian Pacific American Leadership Institute, and a Buddhist lay chaplain counseling inmates at the county jail.